Oral submissions. One of the first things you need to decide in relation to an oral submission is who will appear before the Select Committee. This includes who's actually going to present your oral submission. It's really good to have your chief executive present, but he or she may not be the best person to present your submission, particularly if it's quite detailed and technical. The chief executive can, however, introduce who's in attendance and who will lead the presentation. It's also really useful to sit in for an hour or so before you're due to present your oral submission. That way you get to see how the process works, and it also provides you with an opportunity to comment on other submissions when you actually present your submission. So for example, you may say, we sat in earlier and we heard X organisation say Y, and this is actually what we think. Your oral submission should reinforce your written submission. It should not replicate it. Remember, the Select Committee will have read your submission and the Secretary of the Committee will have summarised it. They get very annoyed if you just repeat what's already in your written submission. Remember that the Select Committee is also going to be very interested in who you are as an organisation. Who do you represent? Why does your voice matter? You want to be able to influence and engage with the committee. Always be polite and direct your comments and answers to the chair and call them either Mr. Chair or Madam Chair. Use real life stories and experiences. The Select Committee will be interested in these. What will the real life impact of the bill be on the people that you represent? This is the best way to grab the Select Committee's attention and to actually influence them. Make sure you also have a list of your key messages. You've got to remember you normally only have 15 minutes, so you want to make the most of that time. Spend the first few minutes introducing your organisation and the people attending. Spend the next 5 minutes on your key messages. And don't forget to recommend solutions where you suggest a change is needed. And remember, the Select Committee do take on board your suggestions. For example, in relation to the Health Practitioners Competence Assurance Bill, a number of organisations recommended there should be a review several years down the track to see if the Act was actually working in practice. The committee subsequently recommended that there be a review 3 years into the operation of the Act. If the bill has regulation-making powers and your organisation has an interest, it's also worthwhile indicating this to the Select Committee and that you would like to be consulted or involved. This will also be noted by officials. For example, in relation to the Medicines Amendment Bill, which extended prescribing rights to new groups of health practitioners, there are a number of organisations who indicated that they would like to be involved in the regulation-making. This is where you have an opportunity to influence the outcome. Finally, spend the last 5 minutes responding to the Select Committee's questions and make comments where appropriate. And last but not least, don't forget to finish with a nice one-liner or a sound bite that you think will be memorable to the Select Committee.